All right, we're back. Just have a little bit of coffee this morning. We're gonna be using some Wild West Shaving Company Black Gold this morning. This is in their previous tallow formula. I know they updated it before they kind of stopped making soap, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Kind of has a little creamy color to it. Good stuff. You'll notice it's in a 2-ounce tin. You can kind of see compared to my hand. It's about half the size of the industry standard, which I really like. I feel like they were kind of ahead of their time in that regard. We'll talk about that. But yeah, black gold. So this is kind of a it's kind of a warm sweet scent as well. Not the same as yesterday though. This one almost has a pleasant sweet cinnamon vibe. Not hot cinnamon like, you know, Big Red Gum or hot tamale candies. It's more a sweet cinnamon, like a cinnamon roll type. But not as intense and sweet and gourmand as that. It's just a very light cinnamon touch on a warm, sweet base. Yeah, this one's very enjoyable. I really wish I would have picked up the Aftershave or EDT to this one. This one's really nice. Anyhow, back to the Lancaster bowl today. We are back to the normal swing of things. I got some pressed into the bowl there. So happy to be using the Lancaster again. I got familiar with the Sterling, I feel like. The Sterling collapsible bowl, and that was very enjoyable to use. I'm going to be using my little classic fader brush here with the 2-band Silvertip Badger on it. You can see there's the little fader coin. Nice little German brush, I believe. Has a nice little knot. I believe this is like a 22 or a 24 millimeter. It's definitely one of my smaller knots, but it'll get the job done for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. So yeah, a while back, actually not too long ago, it seemed like Russell was doing some good things over at Wild West Shaving Company. He had a ton of scent options, and if he was offering, you know, 4 or 5-ounce tubs, one would likely never get to try all of those scent offerings. Just the sheer amount of money it would take to even come close to trying all those scent offerings would be insane. But he offered 2-ounce tubs at a lower price rate, and it was much more approachable. And really, when it came to me referring this hobby to newbies, a lot of people, their go-to is Sterling. And that's great. Sterling's known for being, you know, one of the best bang for your buck artisan in the game, you know. But I thought an even lower price point and price to entry for the hobby would be Wild West Soap Company. And I sent a lot of people in that direction because these 2-ounce tubs were like $8. $9 depending on, you know, different scent offerings. And if, you know, you decided, hey, I don't like this hobby, just ain't for me, you really weren't in too deep, you know, as far as software goes. You weren't in too deep. You don't feel like you were burned or anything like that. And that's just one benefit for the newbies. As far as hobbyists go, that price point is very attractive because you can try a ton of different scent offerings for the price of what you would be getting. You know, 1 tub you could get 2 tubs. 2 tubs you could get 4 tubs. You know, you could try a bunch of more scents because of that price point. Now, I know a lot of people would bitch and moan about the tub size because they're face latherers and couldn't really get your brush a good load on your brush from that small tub. We're all smart people here. You guys should be able to fucking figure it out, you know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. We're all adults. We're all smart, you know? A fucking small tub shouldn't be the end of the world, you know? I'm sorry. I know I'm a bull lather, so I'm probably a bit biased there, but honestly, guys. Honestly. We're a little bit spoiled, asking for everything to be done in our way, in our fashion, or else it's crap. Anyhow, I really like Russell's model. I don't really know. I know he had a little health scare right before he disappeared, so I don't really know what happened on his way out, but it seemed to be pretty sudden. After the health scare, it seemed like he made a recovery, as far as I know. And then shortly after, I went looking to his website to, you know, buy some more products, and it was just indefinitely down. So that's a shame. I really hope, you know, everything's all right with Russell, and maybe one day he can get back into the soap making game, because he even had aftershaves and EDTs that were super affordable. I mean, the whole lineup was just really user friendly, consumer driven prices and offerings. And even I think if there was enough clamoring for like a 4-ounce tub but only 2 ounces of soap, so that, you know, the face latherers would be accommodated, I'm sure if there was enough demand, he could have accommodated that request. This Thader Badger brush is just awesome. I've always liked the knot on this. Oh yeah. I've always liked the knot on this, but the handle is just kind of basic and kind of old-timey. I'm not a super fan of that. There are some vintage handles that I think look pretty good, but this, I don't know. I just think this is kind of basic. I'm not the biggest fan of this one. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. But yeah, it's a damn shame that to see any artisans close up shop, you know. Sometimes you wish you could just win the lotto and kind of support everybody evenly. But, you know, we're not lucky enough to make that happen. I do wish that more companies would pick up on that 2-ounce soap tub or soap puck model. I really think it's ingenious. It's probably, for me personally, it would be probably my favorite way to buy. Back then, I didn't even think about it. I was just like, oh, this is neat. You know, this is super affordable. But the longer I've been in the hobby, the more that 2-ounce soap puck way of doing things has really grabbed hold of me. I don't think anybody else is really doing it, but I do think it's a great business model for the hobby. Alright. It's a pretty good layer there. I'm going to be using my gem Featherweight today with a stainless steel blade there. Close that up and we'll get started. Similarly to yesterday's video, just make sure you ride the cap. Take that angle that it has and press it against your face. And that will be the proper shaving angle with these style razors as well. DEs, you aim for that 30-degree angle, more or less. With these gem styles and injector razors, just kind of ride the cap. So yeah, I have a few soaps from Wild West Shaving Company. If I would have known things were gonna go down like this, I definitely would have ordered more. It was funny because he was even ramping up like a luxury line with the Raven grooming products, or Raven grooming company, or something like that. He was making a luxury line, and then he was updating the base on his normal product line. And it just seemed like, you know, all signs were leading towards him just doing great things, you know. And then, you know, I don't know what happened. I didn't check up on his website for a couple months, and that was it. It was gone when I came back. He would hone straight razors for people. He made a few brushes on the side. And his Raven Grooming Co. stuff was actually really cool because it came with like a huge like themed box and everything. I wouldn't say it was as far as like Holy Black or anything like that. It wasn't that extravagant, but you know, it came with a couple goodies to kind of just enhance the whole experience of it. But I don't think price-wise it was out of hand. It was still pretty in line with the affordable, consumer-friendly type pricing, you know. Just a shame. I wish if I was more privy to what was happening behind the scenes, I probably would have picked up some more products, to be honest. You know, you never know. You sometimes you think you have more time. Think you have more time with an artisan, make it sound like someone was dying or something, but no. Hopefully not. Hopefully everything's well, but I kind of wish I would have had a heads up that he was going under, because I definitely would have bought him out. Ooh, let's get that out of there. Get a little drink of coffee. All right, let's lather up the past two. So, on to the next thing. More PAA recommendations, please. I've got a few good recommendations from people. I would appreciate more of people's favorite PAA scents before I make my purchase. I've heard a lot of the extremely popular ones like Cad and Cavendish and the Beach. Not really sure which one I'm going to go with, but just kind of pooling recommendations at this point. Alright. I was kind of looking at brushes the other day, and one brush type that I've always wanted to get was a horsehair brush, and there's one brand that is pretty much synonymous with horsehair brushes in the game, and that is Bylong. Now, a lot of sites carry Bylong, like West Coast Shaving, Maggard Razors, Razor Emporium, I think, had some. A lot of places had some, But it wasn't like their full product line. But Fender Hen, which I've never ordered from Fender Hen, but Fender Hen had quite a few options for Vylong, and they had some really handsome handles. I noticed Vylong doesn't really have the more modern day knot sizes that are more popular nowadays, like 26 millimeter, 28 millimeter, stuff that's a little bit more popular in today's wet shaving game. But they did have some that were up to 24 millimeter horsehair, and they were relatively affordable. There was two that I was looking at that were under 40. One was under 30. And they were really attractive handles, and so I think I'll be buying a horsehair brush from Vylong here pretty soon. Maybe in my next pay period. Because I know they kind of get a bunch of... They're definitely not as popular, and I don't know if that's because people just think they're not that good. Oh, there's a hair. Or if people are just caught up with the popularity of Badgers and synthetics. But I'm definitely going to check it out, give it its fair go, and I'm excited about it. And this soap, I wouldn't say it's like a crazy high-performing soap. I would say it's definitely right at average. But mind you, this is a couple soap bases back. But if you've noticed, I've had no problems yet. You know, so whereas this isn't a big hype train soap base, it's definitely good stuff. And if your technique is good, you should have no problems. There's also a few other vegan soap bases that I want to get my hands on sooner or later. One of them being Lakewood Soap Company. And the other being Highland Springs Soap Company. I've already tried Southern Witchcrafts and Zingari Man, and those are fantastic. And so, I heard these two are very high quality as well, so I want to get my hands on them and give them a go sooner or later, so that will be in the future as well. Kind of wish this damn blemish would go away already. I'm shaving over it alright. It's not bleeding like crazy, but definitely gotta be careful around there. Alright. So, I live in Washington State, and we're now closing down schools for up to 6 weeks because of the damn coronavirus. It's funny because I thought the whole toilet paper thing was just a joke. Motherfuckers are really buying all the toilet paper. My wife went to the store and she was having a hell of a time finding some. And I just think that's fucking craziness. Like, I thought it was just a joke. It really kind of opens your eyes to how crazy these motherfuckers are. And how the media kind of get the masses riled up. But why toilet paper? In my mind, if you're going to be, staying at home for long periods of time, stock up on food. Stock up on, I don't know, stock up on food. I mean, every house that I've ever been to has running water. So, water's bottles, I don't know. I could understand to an extent if shit started going really, really left and the crazies contaminated the water system. I don't know. That's a little bit too left. That's a little bit, kind of end of the world type shit. This is, just the flu with no flu shot. And I'm not really trying to downplay it that much, but come on. Why the toilet paper? People think that the toilet paper is the cure? I don't get it. That's just me. I don't know. I'm not trying to downplay the severity of the situation, but why the toilet paper? I haven't been affected as of yet. There have been a couple cases on a small city right outside of us. Or a couple, I should say, suspected cases. Pending results, I'm sure. But the way I see it is everybody gets the flu. Whether you get it once a year or multiple times a year. Pretty much everybody gets the flu on a somewhat regular basis. Annually or biannually, whatever. And chances are you're going to have your round with the coronavirus as well. What's it up to, like 4% fatality? Maybe. Last time I checked it was like 3, but who knows now. Might be up to like 4. And the reason I think that it's even higher than the flu at all is just because there's no flu shot. If there was a flu shot, the fatality rate might actually be pretty in line with the normal flu. I don't know. Maybe my facts are all wrong. And I'm going to sound like a complete idiot to some people, but that's just the way I'm seeing things. Not really worried about it. I die young, I die young. I'm going to wash my hands like everybody else. Cover my coughs. Stay home if I feel sick. I'm going to take all the precautions that they're suggesting. But I'm not in a hysteria. Whatever happens, happens, man. Alright, god damn, that was a good shave. Wild West Shaving Company, black gold. I love the scent. I really regret not picking up a EDT or Aftershave Splash, but real good stuff. Maybe if you see some of these on the BSTs, give them a shot. They probably won't be going for much. You could probably pick them up pretty damn cheap. Yeah, just a nice, sweet, light cinnamon. Good stuff, good stuff. I used my gem Featherweight with a Personna stainless gem blade. I used my Thader 2-band Silvertip Badger knot. My Lancaster bowl, of course. Just get that soap off my fingers. We're going to finish today's shave with the club's signature aftershave in this cool little decanter with the little waxed, the club, a little wax seal there on a little string. Just badass. Has the cork topper, this little square decanter. Just talk about packaging, man. That's what I'm talking about. So we'll give this a shake. I kind of hold the top and the bottom and the sides because I don't want this thing getting away from me. So we'll pop the cork here. It has a nice seal on it. I wouldn't say it's extremely difficult to pull out of there, but it definitely keeps an airtight seal. And you'll notice there's no restrictor whatsoever. So, not the end of the world. Don't get worried. We're gonna pour out of the back, not the front, as to protect the label. We're going to put our thumb over the majority of the opening. We'll just get a little bit there. And maybe maybe I should have put my thumb over more of it, but I think I was trying to show it to the camera. But I guess that was a little blooper for you guys. But no, that's how you do it. Just get your thumb over the majority of the opening to constrict the flow. I think if I wasn't on camera, I probably wouldn't have made that mistake, but little blooper for you guys. I'll get some of that on my forearm since we over poured a little bit, but still got plenty of product. It wasn't like a huge loss. Most of it hit the hand. Oh yeah. And A&E and the Club just have amazing aftershave splashes. You know, most of his scents are out of this world, and the performance really leaves your skin feeling nice and soft and hydrated. So, damn good shave. So, one more time, the Club's signature scent as the aftershave. And that'll do it for me, guys. That's it. That was my Sunday shave. Had a good weekend this weekend. Hopefully you guys have a good weekend as well, and a good work week coming up. So I'll catch you on the next one. And have fun getting some toilet paper out there.